In this video, we're talking about the declining birth rate among Black women and why that might actually be a blessing, not a problem. We'll get into how Black women are shamed whether we have kids or not, how single mothers are blamed for everything, how abortions are criticized, and how marriage is held over our heads like it's the golden solution, even when the men in our community don't even value marriage. We'll also talk about why having children, especially with the wrong man, is one of the most dangerous and draining decisions a Black woman can make. So let's get into it. This video is going to ruffle some feathers, and I honestly don't care because it's about time somebody said it out loud. Black women are damned if we do and damned if we don't. If we don't have children, we get called barren, useless, or not feminine. If we do have children and we're not married, we get labeled as baby mamas, accused of destroying the Black community. And if we decide to get an abortion, then all of a sudden we are contributing to the so-called genocide of our own people. There is literally no winning for Black women. So I am going to say something that I think needs to be said. Black women, you should stop having Black men's children, okay? Especially with a group of men who are not worthy, especially in a community that blames us for everything while protecting the very men who abandon, disrespect, and degrade us. Black women are constantly walking a tightrope. Don't have kids and people act like your existence is incomplete. They might ask you, why don't you have children yet? They whisper about your fertility. You're almost seen as less of a woman. But go ahead and have a child and the tone changes. Oh, so you're a baby mama now? Where's the father? You brought a child into a broken home. Now, suddenly you're reckless, irresponsible, and dragging the race down. And let's say you decide to not go through with pregnancy. Now you're the villain. Now you're destroying the Black race. You're accused of being heartless. But where are those critics when the father disappears? Where's the support when you're trying to survive and parent alone? It's nowhere. No matter what we do, if we're child-free, a single mom, or we decide to terminate the pregnancy, Black women carry the shame while the men walk free. And the crazy part is, it's our community doing most of the blaming.
One thing that has really been developing in my cranium is I've been seeing this weird trend of people hating on pregnant women, especially pregnant women that have had babies outside of wedlock. People hate baby mama culture, but save me, he redeemed. The one leading thing beyond my relationship with Jesus that changed my perspective was recognizing I would bring a whole human life into the world that I was not ready to take care of. I was not literally, and I wasn't married. Yeah, when I recognized that, I said, oh my gosh, this is a very weighty thing and I cannot play with human life. Some people don't recognize that probably till after, but why are we shaming people when they're already in a situation, when they need love, they need support? Babies are not sins. Yes, the act that might have conceived that baby was wrong, but at the end of the day, the baby is here. They need love, they need support, and we don't need to hear the condemnation and judgment. And it's the irony when I see people literally have this weird hate towards baby mamas and pregnant women. These are the same people that will scream, oh my gosh, don't condemn, don't judge, da 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 da, but they're doing that to other people. I don't know. It just makes me really upset to see stuff like that because I think women deserve so much support, pregnant women specifically a lot too. I think all women, but specifically like when you're a pregnant woman, you need to be embraced and loved and supported.
Let's talk about marriage. People love to say, well, the solution is simple. Just get married before you have children. But to who exactly? A lot of Black men don't even believe in marriage. Many of them grew up in homes where marriage wasn't modeled. They didn't see a father loving their mother. They didn't grow up understanding what commitment even looks like. So if a man never saw a healthy marriage, never healed his own trauma, never built stability, and doesn't even want to be a husband, why would we marry him?
Hey man, y'all Black men not husband material. I don't even know what y'all be getting online talking to women for, talking about, they need to be wife material and all this, that, and the third. Y'all not even husband material. You don't even know what the heck a husband does because your dad left you. Your dad didn't stay for your mama. So where's your example from? Is it from grandpa or whatever? You don't know what it means to be a husband. Matter of fact, we know that you're not husband material just by the way that you act online. You're cussing out women on panels. Mr. Podcast Black Men, Mr. TikTok Black Men, you're cussing out women. That right there will show you that you're not husband material, fam. Look at the way you're treating the women online. You can't even have a civil conversation with women. You'll probably cuss the woman out, put your hands on her. You not husband material. None of y'all husband material. The last thing that black men need to be do is talking about relationship advice when you suck at relationships. No matter what race of woman you get with, divorce, the outcome is pathetic. Straight up. Failing financially, spiritually, mentally, all that, in every aspect. Talking about leader this and leader that, and ain't leading her to nothing but depression and HE double hockey sticks, fam. That's what you leading her to, fam. Step up. Real talk. The last thing y'all black men need to be, and then you single talking about her, fam. I don't understand. Some of y'all divorced trying to give relationship advice. You the last person that should be giving relationship advice. You failed your marriage. Men be out here failing their marriages and then want to talk about relationships. Man, go get yourself together, brother. You the last person that should be talking. You a failed husband. You know what, black men, y'all be failed husbands, failed fathers, failed friends, failed everything. All you dudes who talk trash about women online should be canceled by women. Point blank, period. Every time you go on a date, I hope they recognize your face and be like, you know what? We're not messing with him. I seen your content. You expose yourself every time, fam. And by the stuff that come out your mouth about black women specifically, you should be canceled, bro. You don't deserve love, fam. You don't even say nothing. You don't have no words of encouragement or anything. You probably can't even. Y'all boys don't deserve black women, fam. You don't deserve no woman. Point blank, period. So again, y'all black men not husband material. So the last thing you need to be trying to tell a woman is that she need to be wife material. Your daddy failed you. Go speak to your dad. Ask him why he didn't marry your mama.
That would be such a dumb, reckless decision. That's not building a family. That's signing up for disaster. And obviously, this doesn't mean every black man. I know that there are black men and black women who are happily married. Good for them. I don't want that. And no, this doesn't mean every black man, but it means most of them are not prepared. Now, I am sure there are some healthy, loving black marriages out there, okay? Black husband, black wife, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't change anything for me personally. Okay, and I know, yeah, like I'm speaking for myself when I say I personally would not be marrying a black man. I'll consider it if he is my preference. I'll highly consider it. I'll think about it because that's just my preference. Okay, and I don't care. Everybody has preferences. Respect mine, period. But you know, a lot of people are panicking about the declining birth rate amongst black women. I mean, really amongst all women, honestly, but I'm black, so I talk about black women and black people. To be completely honest, I'm glad it's happening. I'm very, very happy there is a declining birth rate.
The U.S. government is panicking because the birth rate is falling, which means that GDP could be falling, which means that billionaires could make less money.
So they want women to have more babies.
So they are trying everything they can, except lower prices, make better healthcare, allow people to work from home, or making childcare cheaper.
Every time someone brings up how low birth rates are right now and how rapidly they are dropping, the first thing that comes to my mind is always, thank God. If anything, I think we can go lower. Let's all start a how low can you go challenge.
You know how there's a declining birth rate in both America and Japan, right? Like, I'm sure both countries are stressed out about it because America's already like, oh my goodness, we're declining in birth rate. What do? We need to do something, yada, yada, yada. And I'm sure the government of Japan is probably doing the same thing. But what I'm laughing at is different tactics being used trying to solve the problem at hand. And the fact is neither of them are doing anything to really solve the issue. But America's like, oh my goodness, there's a decline in birth rate. We need to do something, yada, yada, yada. What do? We need more people, more workers. What are we going to do? Like, I got it. We're going to remove women's rights. Like, we're going to force these women to have these babies whether they want it or not. We don't care who lives or dies.
Black women are choosing themselves. It means more of us are waking up and realizing that bringing children into chaos is not love, it's survival. And we're done surviving. We want to live. Why should we keep birthing children into poverty, violence, and trauma just to appease a community that doesn't value us anyway? We're not breeding mules. And let's be real, some of the sons that y'all are raising, they grow up to hate us. You birth them, you clothe them, you feed them, and they grow up to call you bitter, masculine, a gold digger, and tell the world that black women are the problem. Your own son. I would never have a son, not a black son, not ever. And having a black daughter would be hard because black people hate black women so much. The community hates our skin tone, they hate our hair, they hate if we're too feminine, then we're trying to be white. They hate if we're masculine. You just cannot win. Don't you dare come into my comment section saying that this is not true, because we see it every day. I see it on every platform there is. On TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Boys raised by single black mothers who go on to degrade black women online for clout. It's disgusting, and it proves my point. Birthing your enemy is real. And black women, don't you even dare. Don't birth your enemy. That's what you're doing.
If I ever get pregnant with a son, I'm returning it to the sender because I don't want to raise one.
This is the one. If you have a boy and the dad chooses to leave, you especially need to make sure he takes his son with him, sole custody, because the boys always resent the parent who stayed, the mom, and idolize the one that leaves, the dad. This is especially true if you're black. He's going to be watching podcasts or in podcasts, holding a microphone all over the internet and in comment sections talking about how much he hates single moms. He's going to be talking about how she ran his dad away, how terrible she was, how she was keeping him away from his dad, how she made him pay child support so he left, because they believe that their daddy shouldn't have to bear the financial responsibility of the child they helped to create. They're going to hate you. And you would think it would be the opposite, right? You're breaking your back, going to work, providing, taking care of the child by yourself. But the moment they get to that tweens and teens, you're the worst person in the world. And to me, all of that isn't worth it just to say that I was the good parent or the parent who stayed.
Let's really talk about it. Most of these men, they don't want to be fathers. They just want to have children. There's a big difference. It's like a child that wants to have a puppy. It's like, yeah, that kid wants a puppy, but is the kid really going to be responsible for the puppy? Of course not. The parents will. These men don't want to be fathers. They want someone to carry their last name. They want legacy, but they don't want the responsibility, the sacrifice, and the hard work. They want these kids to boost their ego, not to raise them. They're out here making $40,000 a year, struggling to pay their own bills, but demanding respect as the head of a household that can't even afford anything. You can't afford anything. And there's nothing wrong with making $40K a year. Perfectly fine. But what is wrong is bringing a child into that with no plan, no structure, and no commitment to the mother. And don't get me started on the idea that a man doesn't have to be rich to be a good father. Yeah, that sounds nice, but it's not enough. Love doesn't pay for childcare. There are childcare centers. I've seen it. There are women talking about it online. They pay $3K a month for daycare.
When somebody tells you they can't afford to have children, this is what they're talking about. A woman in my town's Facebook group shared these daycare rates today, and she said, how do you afford kids here? Because nobody knows how anybody is paying for this. For an infant for 5 days a week with 10 hours of care, it is $664 a week. That is just shy of $35,000 a year for one child. And the price does not drop that much when they hit pre-K here. It's $521 a week, which is about like $28,000 a year, okay? These are incredibly high rates for daycare. And of course, you could drop down to 9 hours a day or whatever it might be. But here's the thing. When you go to daycare, typically you're going to take the most hours because you have to commute to work, you have to commute back from work, and you have to work 8 hours a day. And unfortunately, when you miss pickup by 1 minute, they start charging you like $2 a minute. So usually it's more cost effective just to pay the higher rate for the 10 hours than to pay for the 9 hours, which is like crazy because it's 1 hour difference. These are rates for one kid. We were talking about one child. Imagine if a family has 2 kids. They're paying $50,000, $60,000 a year for childcare. That is unsustainable for most families.
$3,000 a month for daycare. So no, the $40,000 a year isn't going to cut it. Hugs don't put food on the table. Love doesn't pay for diapers, for formula. It's time that we stop romanticizing struggle. It's not worth it. Giving birth to a child with someone who doesn't love you, doesn't respect you, and doesn't understand commitment is never worth it. You are not obligated to suffer. You are not obligated to carry the burden of keeping a culture alive that refuses to protect and respect you. Black women, you should be prioritizing your peace. Don't reproduce with chaos. Don't bring a daughter into this world that hates black girls. Don't bring a son into a system that turns him into your future abuser.
Look here. Oh God, you want to? Yeah. Take the baby bag. Mercy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Mercy.
Do you have an ID?
I'm gonna explain this to my job. I'm gonna explain this to my job. Oh God.
This is not about hate. It's really about survival. It's about clarity. It's about accountability. And I'm always going to hold the black community accountable because black women have carried everything and everyone for far too long. We are blamed from the downfall of the family, the crime rate, abortion rate, the single motherhood rate, and yet we're the only ones consistently showing up. So here's my message to black women. Stop having children for people who don't love you. Don't get trapped in the shame cycle. Don't let these men guilt you into motherhood when they don't want to be fathers. The birth rate is declining, and for once, that might actually be the best thing for us. Choose peace, choose your future, and black women, you should be choosing yourself. Somebody has to say it. Being accountable matters. Now, let me be clear. I am not here to shame black women who already have children by different men. Life happens, people change, we all make choices we maybe thought were right at the time, but at some point, we do have to stop and ask ourselves, if it didn't work out with the first baby daddy and you already have one child, you're raising that kid on your own, why would you turn around and do the same thing again? It's not judgment, it's being in reality. Okay, continuing to lay down with men who have shown you they don't love you, are not willing to stay, they don't step up, it kind of starts to look less like bad luck and more like a pattern. At some point, it's not about the men, it is about you. And you can fight me in the comment section if you want to, but you know I'm not lying. The black community does not like single mothers. It does not respect baby mamas. It blames you for everything while still expecting you to carry the load. So no, obviously we can't go back in time. We can't undo what's already been done. And I would never say to be ashamed of your children, of course not. But From this point forward, let's be real, it's not a good idea to keep having babies with men who hate you, with men who don't even like themselves. And we need to start teaching our children this too, especially if you have a daughter. Because raising a child with someone who despises you, or worse, someone who is emotionally or physically abusive, is a decision that will drain your soul. Yes, it's a stupid decision. I said what I said. Black women, I need you to understand this. Your body is not a battleground for broken men. Your womb is not a rehab center for their trauma. You do not exist to fix them, heal them, or give them legacy while they give you loneliness. You are not here to prove your worth through pain, sacrifice, or struggle. If you've already made mistakes, then hey, okay, fine. We're all human. We all make mistakes. But don't make them sacred. Don't defend choices that have left you broken. Grow from them. And for the love of God, stop calling it love when it's actually just survival with a baby on your hip. This world doesn't protect you. The community you keep defending doesn't protect you. So you better start protecting yourself. Because at the end of the day, like my girl Mel Robbins said, no one is coming to save you. Especially not the men who helped destroy you. Close your legs, open your mind, choose peace. And if they call you bitter, let them choke on it. At least you're not stupid. I hope you liked this video. Hopefully I didn't make some of y'all too upset. To whoever is watching this and supporting me, just know that I love you so much. And hopefully you will join me here again in my next video. Bye.